actually controlling it, I don't know. I have to do some research into that. Because, all right, here's a good way to lead into this. How do you develop memories?
Your hippocampus.
They're involved, okay? Those areas of the brain, you actually have all of your senses involved in everything you do.
Oh, sleeping to get it to make the tracks back and forth.
Sleeping allows the neurons to synapse that will form long-term memory. Without sleep, chances of forming long-term memory do not occur. So, like I said, if you're thinking about something before you go to sleep, I know that can create a dream, and that's a way of storing information and retrieving it. But the control, yeah, not sure. But
So say for instance, people who can't, like if they sleep longer than 5 hours, they are extremely tired. Whereas if they sleep and get up at 5 hours, they're good to go. What is that?
Now, I do know that there are people who can survive on like the 4 or 5 hours a night. I think they're like associating that with like the person's metabolism and other health aspects of the person. People who though are not made for that type of sleep, they are eventually going to end up with most likely health issues that will be because they didn't get enough sleep.
And I say that because if I sleep longer than 5 hours, the rest of my day I am dragging. But if I get up when my body gets up in 5 hours and I just get up, like I have the most energy, and my memory is so good that I can remember stuff from when I was 4 years old, and like any phone number, if you give it to me one time, I can always remember it. And I'm one of those people who type in numbers on my cell phone. I don't go into names or have to store stuff like that.
I used to be like that until cell phones came out. No, they have shown that there are some people who can survive on less than 6 hours a night. Yeah. Go.
I've been told, like, since I was about, well, I've always worked in the school since I was in high school. And, like, when I got out of high school, it got pretty intense. And, like, when I became a mom, it was, like, pretty intense. So I'll go, like, sometimes a whole day. And I'm like, did I sleep? Like,
oh, wow.
So, but the doctor always told me I need to start resting and getting 8 hours because that my heart, I mean, it's healthy and everything, but she's saying I'm wearing it out by, like,
so you're not physiologically made for that.
Yeah.
And that's probably why they're saying that. Your physiology is totally different, and you're going okay on that. And so this is where over time, if you know that process occurs for somebody not physiologically made for it, they're going to start feeling some effects.
And I just keep going up. So I can work like 8 hours, drive.
But you want to start getting sleep.
With what she was saying about the lucid dreams, I've heard that that's when you have to like train your body to do it so that you don't get into those deeper sleeps and you stay like a form of consciousness for it. Like in Inception, where he like teaches himself how to recognize, and then he can like keep a level of consciousness to what he's doing. I've heard the people that do that have a really hard time actually getting the rest. They kind of perpetually stay tired, and or like when you wake up like really sleepy, it's because you have woken up from like your deepest sleep and haven't like
you haven't finished those cycles.
Yeah, so it just like lingers in grogginess.
I guess for me, I just enjoy my sleep too much.
Oh yeah,
you know, I learned a long time ago because you know it used to be like, well, I didn't get any sleep last night. I was thinking about this, thinking about that. Now I go to sleep and I'm like, whatever's here can wait till tomorrow. And I'm like, I like my sleep too much.
Right.
So funny.
And I think I trained myself to where as soon as I get in the bed, I'm asleep. And like when I was a little girl, my grandmother used to pay us. Like if she was like, okay, who's the first one to sleep gets $5. And I was like, okay, say the word, and I would sleep.
So she was actually
And I
helping and
literally-
didn't even know it. She was just trying to have some peace and
And
quiet.
like everybody,
You know?
like, she gets, as soon as I get in the bed, like everybody will tell you, like she gets in the bed, I'm asleep.
Yeah.
And I'm out, and then my body automatically wakes up 5 hours. And say, for instance, I always want to stay asleep because everybody looks like they're so comfortable. And I'm like, even on vacation, I'm like, I'm going back to sleep, but I cannot, and like I have to get up.
Yeah.
And the times that I have like forced myself to just lay there until I fall back to sleep,
Mm-hmm.
the rest of the day I'm like, oh my god, I'm so tired.
Well, see, my dad, I think, well, my entire life, so I guess his entire life, I think the most he's ever slept was 6 hours a night.
Mhm.
And, you know, and I'm like, dude. And I mean, he's now 70, going on 79 in March. Man can work circles around me. Okay? Still, I mean, retired. He's never retired. I mean, he still works all day, every day. You know? And I'm just like, Daddy, do I need to send you a definition of retirement? But anyway, you know, I think, but the biggest thing that I'm trying to let you guys know, you have to let the cycles occur. You have to, it's beneficial to the body because of the healing and everything else that can occur. And even though neurons don't like replacing stuff in the brain, we've got our glial cells. And it's important for functioning of those glial cells, which are helping to bring in nutrients, get rid of waste, and so forth. So in looking at and thinking more about this higher order portion of the brain, cognitive. We've all heard that term, I'm sure, okay? This is how we acquire and use knowledge, okay? Those association areas of the brain, meaning we've got to have those regions of the brain on one side talk to each other. We've got to have one side talk to the other side. We've got to have it associate with other parts of the brain. But we've got to have association for this to occur. Like a good example, smelling pumpkin pie makes me think about the holidays. Okay? I'm associating for vision, smell, taste, touch, okay, and hearing too, you know, because whether you're like really associating that with the pumpkin pie, okay, but we have taken lots of different areas, and because they were able to communicate to each other, it has helped us learn something, okay? So we need to have those areas because we are going to see, to learn something, we have sensory input, we have thought, we have reasoning, we have judgment, we have memory, we have imagination, we have intuition. For example, learning anatomy and physiology. You know what I get a lot of times when people ask me, what do I do? And then they go, oh, what do you teach? Anatomy and physiology. They go, okay, you know, and I'm like, it is the most fun subject on the face of the planet, okay? Now, but I'll tell you this. I didn't start back to school till I was 26. I was a mother. I was a wife. I worked. I had my first semester, and you know how you take like general bio, your English, your history, your math, you know, all that stuff they put you in for the first semester. My first semester, same week, I had a paper due in English and a test in bio. Well, I got an F on my English paper. I got a D on my biology test. And I'm just like, this is not for me. I can't do this. I just got to go back to work. I can't do this. I go talk to my advisor, and she goes, Danette, please, go talk to your professors, please. And I'm like, okay, I'll give it a try. Go talk to my English professor, and I was so afraid of him, because all you heard was about, oh, he's like the meanest English professor on campus, blah, blah, blah. The man was awesome, okay? Went to go talk to my biology professor. He probably gave me the best advice for learning. What he taught me is the reason I went into biology. It's the reason that for every single degree I have, bachelor's, master's, doctor, that I graduated all 3 with honors. He goes, there's a connection when you begin to learn. He said, you need to hear it, you need to write it, you need to write it again, and you need to read it. I put it into practice, and I kid you not, I did that my entire career of I'm still a college student, I still take classes. And one thing that helped a lot, the color of pen I chose to write with. What color do you think you should choose to write with? It's a color that they try to tell us is a negative color, but it's the most positive color you can write with on the face of the planet. Red. The reason why, your eyes can detect 2 shades of red, and therefore it makes more of an imprint. You can't detect 2 shades of any other color. And I kid you not, from that point forward, because I did what he told me to do, when I went to come take a test, every single note, every single question I'd answered, everything came up in front of my eyes. And I was able to complete everything. He taught me more. That was my first semester professor than probably I had learned my entire life. So there is a connection between all these different senses that we have and what we learn. The more sensory information gets incorporated into something you do, the better you'll learn that activity. So that association is allowing for it to take place, and I'm creating some memories, but I need to make sure that those memories get to long-term storage, not just short-term storage. Short-term storage is what you do when you cram for the exam, take it, and walk out. You will forget everything that you studied. So, memory is going to have to take place in different areas of the brain. Brain injury. This is one way that we've learned a lot about these areas of the brain, and the difficulty we can actually have with recall. I'm sure you guys have heard of amnesia, okay? So we've actually learned a lot about memory based on brain injuries, because there are 2 types of amnesia. One, we can't recall what we used to know. One, you can't store any new information.